PNP, a woman's money doesn't matter to men because we know it's not ours to spend. Guys, I got another reaction video for y'all, man. Today we're going to be reacting to my boy, the Poor Man's Podcast. He's doing a little debate against this young black woman by the name, she goes by Courtney. We're basically going to be talking about, does a woman's income matter in a relationship? You get what I'm saying? And I think y'all already know how I feel about this whole situation, but I'll discuss it at the end of the video. I ain't gonna waste your time. We're gonna get straight into it, but y'all already know what to do. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and most of all, turn on those post notifications so you get notified when I upload a new video. So without further ado, we're gonna hop straight into it.
It's honestly not even you. It's the men in your comments that I'm not understanding where they're coming from. I'm not.
So what? I mean. Well, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. And this isn't to anybody. A lot of folks on this topic are super duper passionate. Now, should they be attacking women or making women feel bad about this and that? No, I don't agree with that. But a lot of it comes out. A lot of people don't understand how to put out the ideas so that people can understand them and try to grasp them. A lot of people just want to make a spectacle of it, and I can't be responsible for everybody in the comments. Now, it is what it is. It's crazy though. It's crazy in there though.
I guess my whole thing is I want to understand where the disconnect is between black men and black women. It's all over the internet. I keep seeing like these Kevin Samuels, of course, and I just started subscribing to you and looking at your comments, and it's a lot of posts on social media. It seems like there's just like a war between black men and black women, and I'm not understanding where the disconnect is. It just seems like there's a bunch of you do this, but it's like, what is the solution? Because we're sitting here talking about it, and a lot of men in your comment section, not talking about you, but the men in your comment section are putting a lot of blame on black women, but it's like that nothing is changing. No solution is being had. So I'm trying to.
Well, do you think that the solutions aren't? Do you think that the solutions aren't being heard because they come off as offensive? Because any criticism to women comes off as offensive, especially if it comes to men, especially if it comes from men. Because I'm gonna say it like this: black men throughout the '90s, especially, all right, and my father was definitely telling me a lot about this. Black men had a lot of criticism in the 90s, all right? Every movie you watch, every major black movie talks about how black men ain't this and this and that. But we rarely ever look into what the black women were doing in that situation. And I talked about an example earlier. I don't know if you heard the monologue, but I talked about Baby Boy, all right? This movie is done well. BET all over the place, right? All black people know Baby Boy. And we talk about Jody, and we talk about Jody ain't shit, right? He got baby mamas all over the place. He living with his mama, this and this and that. But what was Yvette doing getting pregnant by a man that lives with his mother and rides a bike around the neighborhood? You get where I'm going with it? Like,
I completely agree with that. Yeah.
Basically, a lot of black women don't take accountability for their actions, and they always want to blame it on, oh, this dude ain't shit. You get what I'm saying? You feel me? This and that, right? It's all the men's fault. You get what I'm saying? They can't never take accountability for themselves. They can never admit that they're in the wrong. You get what I'm saying? They can never admit that they have flaws as well. You get what I'm saying? Well, maybe you wouldn't be a single mother if you chose the right type of men to associate yourself with. You want to be around the thuggish dude that still lives with his mom. He doesn't have a crib. He doesn't have a car. You get what I'm saying? He's just on the corner slinging dope, selling weed. You get what I'm saying? You're attracted to that type of dude, and you know that type of dude is not a good fit to be a father, but yet you still open your legs up to a dude like that, and then you act surprised when that dude doesn't give a shit about you and then walks away. What did you expect? You should, and this is why I say, like, as a woman, you gotta know what type of situation you are getting yourself into. You gotta know the situation that you're putting yourself into. You get what I'm saying? And then you gotta be willing to deal with any consequences that come out of that situation. And if you're not willing to deal with the consequences, then you're just being delusional and you don't want to take no accountability. This is why I say, like, a lot of the black women in today's society, they're suffering from all the same sickness. I'm not saying every single black woman are suffering from this, because that is not true. You do have some black women out here that are self-aware and that can take accountability for their actions, and they know what type of men to avoid and stay away from and this and that, and actually care about their purity and this and that. Like, you get what I'm saying? There are women out here that are like that, but the majority, the ones that be on social media a lot, the ones that look up to people like Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, all these Instagram influencers, rappers, celebrities, whatever, right? They're not good role models, but to them they are. You get what I'm saying? It's really just a sickness that a lot of these black women are suffering from, unfortunately.
So all it is, really, a lot of it just comes to accountability. Because I just had a woman on, and I brought up the fact of 80% obesity rate in our community, and the first thing she said was it's because of a song by Sir Mix-a-Lot called "Baby Got Back" in the '90s, and the first thing she did was pin that on black men. Okay, and my argument is simply this: regardless of if you believe that regardless of if you want to be attractive to men or not, it's a health concern. That's the number one killer of black women in America. It's cardiac arrest, dying of heart disease. Okay, so when I say 80% of black women are overweight or obese and we need to change this, I don't care if you want to find a man to find you attractive. Just do it for yourself. It's just the truth of the matter. So that comes off as, see, the problem is this: because a lot of our women have adopted the feminist movement, which does not care about you. It's just how it goes. White women got the right to vote way before black women did. They don't care about y'all. Y'all disposable. So in there, like on Black Twitter, the people I see putting in all the work and getting all the backlash from it is black women. Y'all the ones doing all the work for all these white women and all these. They're getting married. Those white women are getting married. And what that feminist movement has done is made it so that any man that has these conversations with y'all are a part of the patriarchy, and that's the problem.
That's interesting. I didn't even know that. You get what I'm saying? But when he puts it like that, that does make a lot of sense. You get what I'm saying? Back in those days, you know, a lot of black women, and really just black people in general, didn't really have a lot of freedom of choice. You know what I'm saying? Or any rights. You get what I'm saying? So it would make sense that the white women were the ones to start the feminist movement, and then the black woman, they just hopped on the bandwagon. But they're so delusional, they don't even realize that the white women are not doing it for them, they're doing it for themselves. So it's just like the feminist movement wasn't for black women, it was for white women. You get what I'm saying? So it's just, that's basically what the Poor Man Podcast is saying. So it's very interesting. I never knew that. That's crazy.
So they've known our voices.
I think where I get offended is when I hear the generalizations that say that black women don't take accountability, black women this, black women that, and me, myself as a black woman, and the black women I know and surround myself with don't fit into that narrative that's being painted by.
That's good.
Well, that's good. That's good that your group of circle of black friends that you hang around, like, that's good that your circle's not like that. But what you have to understand is that is your group of people. That is the exception. We're talking about the majority. You get what I'm saying? That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about you and your friends. Yes, you and your friends may not be like that, but just because you and your friends are not like that, that doesn't mean that the majority aren't like that neither. You get what I'm saying? So, you see what I'm coming from here? Like, you feel me? Like, she's trying to make the exception account for the majority, and that just doesn't work. You can't do that.
What you guys are saying. So that's
great. That's good for y'all.
I'm not understanding, and I get offended when I see these comments because that's not my perspective of black women.
Well, see, here's the thing about me.
My perspective is inaccurate for the entire whole. But
here's the thing about me, Courtney. I get called all the time broke, dusty, simp, this and this and that. I mean, you'll have somebody saying I'm a bigot and I'm a misogynist. Then you'll have somebody saying I'm a simp. I don't get which one it is. But I'm married to a black woman. I'm 25 years old. I'm married to a black woman. My high school sweetheart. I've been dating her since I was 15 years old. Okay, so I've done everything right too. And regardless of that, people are going to look at you from the greater scale. And that's why we have to change these numbers. Mm-hmm. All right, so it's just too much disconnect. And the fact that we're not working together is what's killing us all individually regardless. So, and I said this statistic before. You got 43%, and you probably was in when I said this. 43% of black men want to be in relationships, while only 23% of black women want to be in relationships.
Wow.
Wow. I cannot
but
78%
wow.
Where did you get that from?
I'll look at national poll. I'll put it in the description. I'm sorry, I probably wouldn't be able to do it now, but it's a national poll review or something like that. I'll put it in the description for you to read. I promise I got you. I'm not bullshitting this stuff. I don't do that with my statistics.
That's
I got you
crazy.
Though. It was a poll that was done in 2020.
So you're saying only 23% of black women. You said only 23% of black women want to be in relationships. So we just
want to be in relationships.
Most of us want to be single. And
yeah, well, I don't believe that that's true. I believe that most women want to live in this glorifying phase of being single and getting a bag and manipulating men, and this is where a lot of people are stuck. So when asked that question, they may say no because they don't want to go out and actively look for a man because they're afraid of not being enough. All right, they're afraid of not, or feeling like they're not enough. And there are plenty of black men that are happy to accept you, but the problem is you get black women that are been given this false narrative of themselves that makes them think that they're more than they actually are. And I'm not trying to downplay any women, but all women are not 10s. We just can't do that. But if you believe that, that makes you go for a man that's a 10. Exactly. And when you go for a man that's a 10, he's less likely to commit to you, especially if you're not as attractive to him.
And that's when the delusion sets in. You get what I'm saying? Because since they think they're a 10, they think that they can attract anybody else of the opposite sex that is a 10, just like he said. You get what I'm saying? Which is a very unrealistic way of living life. You get what I'm saying? Because the reality is that not everybody's a 10. Some people are 5s. Some people are 3s. Some people are 7s. Like, it ranges from different people. You get what I'm saying? So, and this is not hard to understand, but, you know, it's the social programming. That's really what it is. It's really just the social programming from all these social media platforms. It's brainwashed these females, man. It's really brainwashed them. And if we do have any hope of, you know, turning this stuff around, it's gonna take a long time. It's gonna take a very long time. It's not something that's gonna happen overnight, because that's not how brainwashing works. You know what I'm saying? Brainwashing is a process. It takes a long time to brainwash somebody. You can't brainwash somebody in one day. That's not how brainwashing works. It takes time. It takes time of just consistent social propaganda, programming, whatever you want to call it. It takes time. You get what I'm saying? So, just like how it takes time to brainwash somebody, it also takes a lot of time to unbrainwash somebody. You feel me? I'm a perfect example of that. When I was younger, when I was a teenager, I used to be pro-abortion. I used to think there was nothing wrong with killing babies. You get what I'm saying? But then, after I started doing my own research and looking at the negative effects that it does to the mother and the baby itself and this and that, and just listening to people that are more informed about these type of concepts and things than I am, that's when my whole mindset and perspective started to change. But it didn't change overnight. It took a while to change. You get what I'm saying? Because I constantly had to keep doing my research. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, man, this stuff is crazy, man.
It's just how nature works. So it's a lot of facts that go into a lot of situations that go into a major problem. This is a multivariate problem. So yeah, but I'm happy you're not being a part of that problem though. So I salute to you for that.
And see, so you're saying that black women want to date higher, but we don't. You're basically like Kevin Samuels saying we don't qualify to date higher. That's.
I wouldn't even say. Well, I mean, just off the rating scale, just off looks alone. I can't. Let me use this example. I have a friend. I don't know if you've ever seen my live before with him. 6'4" dude. He looks just like August Alsina. I keep hearing the comment. They keep telling me to bring him back. I'll probably have him back on. 6'4", super attractive dude. But the women that are coming up to him and actually giving him a chance, like actually trying to shoot their shot, I'm like, are we? I get it. You want to be ambitious. I get it. Right, but let's just be completely honest. If somebody doesn't like, and men are very visual creatures. If they don't like the way you look, they're less likely to commit to you. It's just a harsh reality. Men aren't allowed to say that, but it's the truth of the matter. It's just, I mean,
yeah.
That offends a lot of people, especially women, but it's just the truth. Just like how women don't like men that are broke and women don't like men that are short. It's just how it works. So I would say there's nothing wrong
besides the look category.
Well, I mean, the average height for a black man is 5'9". How many black women do you hear say they want a man over 6 feet tall? So you've already limited your dating pool. Now you want a man that makes over $100,000
and taller than me, like.
Yeah, that's good. Then that means you have a better standard, for a more realistic standard for finding a mate.
Yeah.
But if you look at other women,
I think what she's not understanding is that, okay, that's you. That's how you look at things. That's your perspective, and that's good. That's good that you have a realistic perspective on life and just men in general. Like, you get what I'm saying? That's good that you think like that. But what she has to understand is that majority of black women and just women in general don't think like she thinks. And that's just the truth of the matter. Like, not like, that's basically what the Poor Man's Podcast is trying to make her understand. Okay, you think like that, that's cool. But most women in today's society do not think like that. You get what I'm saying?
A man that makes 6 figures. I mean, how many black men make 6 figures?
What if I make 6 figures? Should I not?
But see, that's where women get it lost, because women assume that a man that makes 6 figures want a woman that makes 6 figures. They believe that when they have the money, the opportunity will come, and it's simply not true. What happens is women want men that make 6 figures or over now, right? But men that make 6 figures or over don't care about how much you make because they have the money already. They have the money, so they don't care about the money. So they want women that are coachable, women that are inspirational, women that look out for the men, women that take care of the household. That's what they want. So if you're too busy going off to work, just like he is, how are you able to do those things? You know what I mean? So it's a lot that ties into it. You know what I mean? And truth be told, I don't know how many women actually want these men that they say that they want, in terms of these quote-unquote high-value men making all this money, because that means he's working 40, 60 hours, or 60 to 80 hours a week.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have time to hang out with you.
Yeah.
All right, so the women that need these kind of men are a very select few hypergamous women that are okay with just accepting gifts and okay with being cheated on, generally speaking. Not all the time, but generally speaking. All right, so, you know, everybody's stuck on how Sweetie got the Birkin bag, but they don't know how she got it. You know what I mean? They don't know the things she had to get through, all the cheating, all the lie. Yeah, but that's something she stuck through because that's something she wants. I don't think that most women are going to be able to handle that lifestyle. So, unfortunately, the more money you make as a woman, the smaller your dating pool is.
From the perspective of me as a black woman who I consider myself a successful and educated black woman who is searching for a black man who is also educated and successful, I feel like my dating pool is very narrow. But you're saying that black men are more successful than black women. Where are they? Me and my other black female friends do not see them. So I'm just trying to understand, where are they?
Well, I mean, it depends on where you're hanging out.
And the ones who don't have kids and...
See, now we get narrow. Like, where is this? You're talking about a unicorn. All right, you're talking about a man it's going to be hard to find.
Why is that a unicorn? But why is that a unicorn, though?
She's not getting it. She's not getting it.
You're asking for a man that wants to date you that makes over 100,000. How many? Okay, it's just, and I mean, this is when it gets offensive. But how many men actually want to date you in the first place? But then now you got to narrow it down to how many men over 100 makes $100,000 or more wants to date you. And simply, the men who make that much money have access to too many women. Exactly. The women that they have the access to date look different. They look a certain way. They're a certain kind of woman. Okay, and I mean, that's okay. There's nothing wrong. I'm trying to tell you, there's nothing wrong with dating a hard-working person. There's just nothing wrong with it. But there are more black men in the upper class than there are black women. That's 100% true. But this is what happens. Black women go and they get degrees and they become professional, which 70% of women who are professional are single. Okay, they end up single, and when you hit the age of 35, your chances of getting married decreases to 30%. So you go out and get these jobs, and then you look back at the men. The majority of your dating pool are working class men. Majority, now not all of them, more in the upper class than black women, but the majority of the dating pool that you're gonna have access to are workers. And like you said, you don't want a worker, so that's what happens. So there's this disconnect there.
Wow, she said that.
People get degrees, and then they look down on people that work hard.
No, I don't look down on people that work hard, but I mean, when you are accustomed to a way of living and you would want somebody who matches that, right? Like that just kind of makes sense to me, but...
That's a women's thing. Men don't feel that way. We date quote unquote down all the time.
Yeah, that is a woman's thing, though.
Men don't want a person that's equal to them in how much money they make, in the lifestyle that they live. There could be a man that's a millionaire, see a beautiful woman at McDonald's, he'll go and pick her up. This is how it works for men. We care more about looks. We care more about femininity. We care more about nurturing qualities.
And this is what I'm talking about. Once females really understand that that's all we want as a man, that's all we want from a woman. All we care about is your femininity, your beauty, and how you carry yourself. That's all we care about. We don't care about how much money you make. That doesn't matter to us. It for sure doesn't matter to me. I promise you that does not matter to me. You could work at McDonald's. I wouldn't care. If I'm making over 100K and I find you attractive and I find you as a woman that I could see myself having a family with one day, I will get you out of that McDonald's job that you're working at and put you in a better position in life. You get what I'm saying? That's the type of dude I am. You get what I'm saying? But that's if I see something in you. You get what I'm saying? But I think what she just has to understand, though, is that at the end of the day, money does not matter to men. When it comes to a woman's income, like, that doesn't matter to me. You get what I'm saying? The only time a woman's income is gonna matter to a guy is if that guy is not making a lot of money himself and he's pretty much depending on the woman's income to benefit his own gain. That's the only time a woman's income is going to matter to a guy. You get what I'm saying? Because 9 times out of 10, that guy, he's not very ambitious and he's not really doing anything in his own life. You get what I'm saying? So he has to depend on somebody else's income to make things work. You get what I'm saying? And yeah, that's really just the reality of it. You get what I'm saying? And if you're a woman that is watching this and you hear this, you're probably going to disagree. But that is the truth. And yeah, man, that's just the truth at the end of the day. But yeah, man, that's the end of the video, man. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I'll see y'all in the next reaction.